Going to see game 12 of the World Championship. So before game 12, Ding was down by 1 point. Gugesh was ahead by 1 point. Gugesh had just won game 11. Game 12, Gugesh leads 6 to 5. That's the situation before the game starts. Ding starts with c4. Anybody knows the name of the opening? No, it's not Sicilian. Anyone else? No. It's called the English opening. When you play pawn c4, it's called the English. Ding replies with Ding was white. Gugesh replies with e6. Ding plays g3 and Gugesh plays d5. And now, what is the point of playing g3? Yes, right? Yeah. Oh, 1 second. Yeah. So bishop to g2. No, pawn is defended twice, so there's no threat. Yeah, that's the idea of playing. So we call it a fianchetto. When a bishop comes to g2 or bishop comes to b2, we, we say the bishop is fianchetto. Okay, so bishop g2, Gugesh plays knight to f6. Knight f3, all standard moves. You're bringing out the pieces, right, in the opening. Knight f3, no talking. Knight f3, and Gugesh plays pawn to d4. He pushes a pawn forward. Now this knight cannot come to c3 anymore. Castles by Ding. Gugesh plays knight to c6. And now pawn to e3. So white needs to, get some pawns in the center always. Yeah, he still has to develop these two pieces. Gugesh has to develop the bishops and do castling. So a lot of things left to do in the opening. Gugesh plays bishop to e7. Ding plays d3. And Gugesh takes. How do we take back, guys? How to take back the pawn? Yeah, with the bishop. Good. And now Gugesh plays e5. So that Ding cannot play d4 that easily. So he has got some control of the center. Knight to c3 and castles. So whose position is better? So the opening is kind of over. Bishop has just got to come out. Other than that, everything is done. Yes, Myra. Why do you say that? Myra? Huh. So white is slightly more developed than black, right? White has got all pieces developed. Black is yet to develop this bishop. Okay, you could say that. Okay, so now Ding plays rook to e1. Just activating the rook. Gugesh plays h6. So those who came late, this is game 12 of the World Championship. Today, who? What? The game is going on, na? It's 6-6 and game is going on. Okay, so a3 by Ding, controlling this square so that the knight cannot jump, and also preparing to play b4 himself. So Gugesh says, you're not going to play b4, I'm stopping you from playing b4. And now Ding plays h3, controlling that square also, so that no bishop pin. And now Gugesh plays bishop to e6, finally developing the piece, and Ding plays king to h2, just tucking his king away into safety, and Gugesh plays rook to b8. Ding plays queen to c2. So very perfect development. Yes, Vishnu? No, this is from game 12 yesterday. I mean, day before yesterday's game. Yes, now game 13 is going on. We'll have a look afterwards. Queen c2, rook to e8. And now, where should this knight jump to? Let me ask Advik. Can you suggest a good place? Now that all the pieces are active, like developed, we need to improve them, right? So where can this knight move to a better place? No need to raise hands, Myra. I'm asking Advik. Yes, Ananya, what happened? Oh, okay, you can have a seat there. Next week onwards, then you'll be blocking Rayansh's piece. You can sit there. Parth, what are you doing? Have your seat, na? Don't act like you have come in the middle and lost where to go. Yes. Yeah, knight b5, good square for the knight. That's what Ding played. Gugesh plays bishop to f5. Is that a pin? Rayansh, is there a pin on the board after black's last move? Yeah, the pawn is pinned to the queen. Right? If the pawn moves, the queen is gone. So he's making it hard for white to play d4. So bishop f5. Ding brings his last piece into the game. Now all pieces are active. This knight is super active. Everybody else is doing good. For black, the rooks don't have great squares. Queen is yet to come out. Yes, Ananya? Exchanging it off. So why are we traveling that far, wasting a move just to exchange it? Try to do useful things in the position. Bishop a7 is a bad move. If you're playing knight a7, then at least I can understand. Knight take, bishop takes, you're attacking the rook. Simply going there, exchanging of that nice bishop, not a good idea. Right now, pieces are all active. We can try to improve it more. How do you improve the position more? No, it is there. It is on the longest diagonal on the chessboard. So it is active. It can knight can move in one move. It's not blocked by anything. It's just one move knight can move. So there's nothing like bishop is blocked. It's just one move for a bishop to be unblocked. So this bishop is active. There's no need to improve it. Yeah, so it's on the longest diagonal. It's a good bishop. So that we have to understand. Now, after rook d1, Gugesh played knight d7. Now, Ding has developed all pieces. Knight has gone to a better place. How do we make the position better? How can white improve the position even more? This is something a lot of people face. Like you develop everything, opening is done. Listen first, listen properly, then you'll understand who is playing who. That you need to understand first. If you didn't, you listen and then you'll understand. Right now, I'm talking about something else, right? So that is not the time for you to interrupt. So when I'm speaking, if you have a question, wait for me to finish. I've told that so many times to you itself in the class. Okay, so what I was saying was, after developing everything, how do we make the position better now? We reach like a point where we are stuck. Everything is developed. What next? What to do? Yes, Ananya. So what square? Queen a4. Bringing the queen to a slightly better square. That is one idea. Advik, you had raised that. Okay. But there's no captures, no? But for that to happen, our position has to become better. So that is later. Once you get a good position, you can do all the winning moves and all that. Right now, the position is just normal. We need to improve our position to make it better. Yes, Ryan? What does it do? I mean, you're just exchanging it off. Rook will move. So you're wasting a move just to exchange of the knight. I told Ananya also same thing. There's no. Yeah, it's not. This knight is superbly kept. You're exchanging it off for this knight, which is not doing much. So there's no point in doing that. Uh, we can instead? That's what he's saying, knight a7. So bishop, if I just play rook 8, then we come back. Black can take or black can play rook 8. So if they play rook 8, what do? You come back. So then you look stupid, no? If you do that. Bishop goes there and then comes back for no reason. For what? A7, rook 8, you can come back. You can come back to E3. That's normal. So you're wasting a move. That's the only problem. Yes. That is something you should not do. It's very easy to push pawns here. You're weakening your king. So don't touch this side unnecessarily. You've got a nice castle for your king because of the pawns. Just to kick the bishop, bishop will go here. Nothing bad will happen to black. Your king will become open. So there's no point of playing g4. In most positions, it's a bad move because it opens up your king. So now, this is something very important for everyone to understand. Once you complete your opening, can you sit properly, Parth? Once you complete your opening, next step, you should try to make your pieces more active by doing a pawn break. How many of you have heard of the word pawn break before? The term pawn break? Nobody. That's what I'm asking. Have you heard of the word pawn break before? Okay, pawn break basically means a pawn move which will lead to an exchange of pawns and which will open up our position. So in this position, which pawn break? Yeah, this is the pawn break we want to play. So our next, now is the time to listen. So our next idea should be to try and get this pawn break. That will make the rook active. The position opens up. If all your pieces are already developed, if you do a pawn break, your pieces become more active. You give more space for the pieces to come to. So, what but? So did I say anything about that? Did I ask a question? So what I was saying is this is what we need to try and do. Can we do it right now? Ananya, it's a blunder. Try to find out why is it a blunder. First thing. Pawn d4 is a blunder. Why? So you think and then start speaking. Why is it a blunder? If you have an answer, tell it clearly so others can also hear. What will happen if you push the pawn? So you lose your queen. So that is not that hard. We even understood that before, that there is a pin. Yeah, 1 second. Huh? Yes, Ananya. Okay, so how do we get pawn d4 in? What do we need to play before we play pawn d4? Who can find out? Parth? Move the queen out of the pin and then play pawn d4. Nakshatra, you need to focus here in the class. So this move, if you want to play, you have to get the queen out of the pin. So Ding played queen d2. Also the same idea to play pawn to d4. And now Gugesh played bishop to g6. And now what do we do? Myra? Yeah, pawn d4 by Ding. So position is now very good for white. White's pieces are also active. There's like harmony in the amongst the pieces. Black's pieces are not yet able to go to good squares. So d4 played. Gugesh plays e4. Now let me ask Tiran. If you are white, what do you do next, Tiran? Knight to h4 says Tiran. Rayan Shukla, what will you play? Okay, how many of you want to play knight h4? Okay, others, Parth and Vishnu, what will you play? What will you play? I'm asking you what you will play. You don't want to play. So then decide. So Parth, what is your move?
Knight e5.
Knight e5. Okay. You already raised your hand for knight h4, so that's so you want to play knight e5. Okay, and Vishnu?
Sir, pawn d5.
Pawn d5. So if they take your knight, you take. They take your bishop, you take. Okay, so after pawn d5, they will what will they do? Yeah, so they'll take your knight, you will take, and then they'll take the pawn.
Then we also take the pawn with the bishop.
Then I'll take your knight. Peace goes. So you cannot play pawn d5. What happened? Pawn d5, I take your knight. You take the knight, I take the pawn back with the pawn. Then I take your knight. Where is b6? So pawn will take by going to b6. So try to calculate along the way. You need to improve your calculation. So for that you need to put some focus in. Pawn to d5, pawn takes knight, pawn takes knight. Sorry, pawn to d5, takes, takes, takes. The pawn is attacking your knight and this pawn is attacking your bishop. So that means both of your pieces are hanging, you will lose a piece. So d5 is not possible, you lose a piece. Now, the moves that you guys told are mistakes. Knight h4 is a mistake. Why is knight h4 a mistake? Who can tell me? Parth.
Because when bishop takes and we take, then our king is open.
That's not the only problem. There's a bigger problem. Bishop takes, we take, king is slightly open, but king can hide. No, that's not a big problem. Why is knight h4 bad, guys? Bishop takes.
Is it in the corner?
What's in the corner? I mean, you're attacking a bishop. How is it in the corner? Yes, Ryan. Bishop will take, then you'll take back. No? You haven't even reached that.
Take back with the queen.
Exactly. Queen will take back. So you lose a pawn. That's the main problem. And your king is also open. So position becomes terrible for white if you play knight to h4. Knight e5 is also a mistake.
Sir, what's that mistake?
Why is knight e5 a mistake? Try to find out, and instead of asking, try to think. Think on your own. In your mind. Think in your mind. Tell the answer loud. Yes, Ryan?
Sir, if you move your pawn to
Knight to e5.
D knight takes.
Knight takes. Pawn
and then
takes.
Pawn takes. Then he'll take our queen.
I will take back.
Yeah.
So how is it a problem?
No, I mean.
Trading of queens is a problem. 1 second. In your mind, you're already thinking trading of queens is bad for me. That thought you have to throw away. Then you'll never trade queens in any game. So do not think like if I exchange queens, it's bad for me. That is not a reason. Now, if you have anything relevant to say, then speak, Ananya. Myra, what do you say? Yeah, by after knight e5,
Knight takes.
knight takes, pawn takes.
Then knight takes.
Yeah, they'll just take the free pawn, right? Or they'll exchange queens and then take the free pawn. So knight e5 is also a slight mistake. This is even worse.
Then we can take the not pawn on
c7. No,
on 1 a5.
no, I'm exchanging queens, no.
Yeah.
So I'll exchange queens and then take them. So it's slightly worse, but knight h4 is terrible because you're losing a pawn and your king is open. So the correct move is just knight g1, the move that Ding played. So you can't give your opponent the advantage. White is better, but if you make a mistake there, your advantage goes, opponent is better. So knight g1 is the knight. Huh?
It's back in the hole.
Yeah, but when you're coming out, na. As long as you come out, it's fine. Your pieces are all active. So one piece going back doesn't affect your position. So Gugesh plays knight to b6. Let me ask Ryan, what will you play for white, Ryan? You would start speaking and then stop and then think, and after 2 minutes you'll answer. That's how you always do. First you stop and think, then start speaking. Na? What is the need to instantly say, I will?
Yeah, I will move my bishop to f4.
Bishop to f4.
In the idea of getting our knight to c7.
Or bishop. Bishop takes is much better. That will be a fork. Right? So bishop f4 making a threat. 1 second. So bishop f4 is a good idea, but there's a problem. You again made the same mistake you made last class. You are missing your opponent's threats. You are not even checking what your opponent played. It's very difficult to go from beginner to intermediate if you do not even do that. That's the bare minimum. First step has to be looking at opponent's last move. So if you play bishop f4, I'll just take your pawn, attacking the queen, and then I'll go back to d6. There will be no threats. I got a pawn. I'm better. Yes, Advik?
Sir,
yeah.
We can do pawn to d5.
Pawn to d5. Attacking the knight. Huh?
Both of the knights. Because bishop.
No, this is defended by the knight. So I'll just move my knight.
But sir.
You're making me move to a better place.
Sir, but then we can also play.
Huh. 1 second. Myra was saying something first.
Sir, there's a fork for black then.
How?
Knight takes pawn.
Then I move the queen.
Then a bishop.
Takes, queen takes. Then you'll have to move the knight, right? Don't you have to move the knight? Yeah. So you lose a pawn and that's fine. So d5 is unnecessary. Right now the threat is knight takes pawn. That's the first thought that we should think. Our opponent played knight b6 attacking the pawn. So we need to defend it. Now can we ignore it and make a bigger threat? That's the next level of thinking. But first step you have to see the threat at least. So in the game, Ding played queen c3, defending the pawn. Bishop f6, more pressure along the diagonal. And now the queen goes back to c2, going out of the pin. He wants to play d5. Gugesh plays a4, trying to play knight a5, knight b3. Yes, Parth?
This could just take the pawn on.
Pawn, not bond.
Pawn
Huh.
on the d4.
How is it? It's
No,
defended. Whatever you take it, I'll take it back. I'll take
Yeah,
it.
then I take with the.
Then I take again. You're losing a piece. It's defended 3 times now. How can you attack it 3 times and take? You're attacking 3 times, I'm defending 3 times. That's not a free pawn. So pawn a4 by Gugesh. And now don't forget the knight. The knight that went to hometown has to come back. So knight e2, coming back to a good square. Bishop to g5. And now knight jumps even further to f4. Gugesh takes it. Bishop takes back. And now let me ask Bhumi. What will you play for black, Bhumi? The position is still very good for white. All the pieces are still active. For black, you will do this. Then I'll just take the knight, free piece. Why are you giving up your piece? Look properly. You have to see the pieces properly. Don't give away your position just like that. Okay, let me ask Ryan. What will you play for black? Pawn to e3. Attacking the queen. Interesting. If you do not know whose move it is, then try to focus more next time. So pawn to e3, I will probably move my queen, let's say to d2. Oh no, then you will take this pawn. So I'll move my queen up.
Sir, but you can't even play queen on d2 because I'll just take your queen.
Yeah, so pawn e3, I'll play queen c3.
And then after that, I'll take.
Then you'll take this pawn, yeah?
Yeah, but then you can take this rook.
I'll take the rook, you'll take the rook, and then knight takes pawn, or bishop takes pawn. Hmm. So pawn d3, e3 is a very good find. It's a good try. I suppose I will have to move my queen then to e2. That would be a better choice. So queen e2, and then you take, I'll take with the queen. So it's possible. In any other moves, anybody for black in this position? How many of you saw that white is making a threat? Only what is a threat, Ryan?
Sir, white is making a
Then why did you raise your hand? Black is making a threat. Huh? So first step you're again missing. The problem is you're not learning from your mistakes. So that mindset has to be the learn from your mistakes. This is like the fourth time I'm telling you in 2 days. Look at your opponent's last move. You're still not doing that. Only Ryan Shukla and Parth saw opponent's threat. Okay, what is the threat, Ananya?
bishop takes pawn.
Yeah, there's a direct threat of bishop takes pawn. Knight is here, bishop is here, bishop has just moved. So it's not that hard to understand the threat. You have to be ready to first look at opponent's move. Only then you'll be able to play chess properly.
So before you said the move was not appropriate, now you're saying it's good.
Which move?
The bishop to f4.
When did I say the move is not appropriate?
Before you were saying that knight c7.
I didn't talk about knight c7 now.
Somebody suggested bishop to f4, pretending it's square to 4 to queen.
I didn't say that. I didn't say bishop f4 is bad.
Wrong.
No, I didn't. I didn't say bishop f4 was bad. If you listen properly, you would understand why I would have said something like that. I did not say bishop f4 is bad. I said take with the bishop. That we discussed earlier also. So bishop f4 makes a threat. So main thing to learn at this level, for beginner level, you have to check your opponent's last move. There is no other way to play chess. Without that, you cannot make good moves. You will just keep losing pieces. So bishop to f4, opponent, Gugesh played rook c8, defending the pawn. And now queen again came back to c3, slightly improving itself. The knight went back, trying to come to d7, and now pawn to d5. Gugesh plays queen to d7. What will Ding do next? There is a winning move here for white actually. In this position, there is a winning move. Even one move back. Like when he played knight b8, yeah, this position. Instead of d5, Ding had a winning move which he did not see. Can you find the winning move for white? White to play and win. Yes, Vishnu.
So bishop captures c7.
How is that winning? You're losing a bishop. Rook takes bishop. That's a winning move. That's a losing move, not a winning move. It's defended by a rook and queen. So you play bishop takes, I'll take your bishop. You play knight takes, queen and take back. You lose a bishop and knight for a rook and a pawn. That's losing for you. Yes, Ananya? Bishop takes e4. What will happen after that, Ananya? You play bishop takes e4. What will black do?
Bishop takes.
So you're losing a bishop. Then what's the point? And then what will black do? Nothing. So try to calculate before you make a move. You're making move, you're blundering your piece just like that. If you want to become better at chess, you cannot play moves without checking if it is safe. Bishop takes pawn is not safe. You are blundering a piece. That's just giving up a piece. So white to play and win. There is a move here that wins material. Let's see who can find it. Yes, Parth.
Queen
Hmm.
a5.
Queen a5. How does it win anything? What are you attacking?
It kind of wins the pawn.
This pawn? That's defended by a knight. How is it
But
winning?
it also the knight will
Winning. What's the meaning of winning move, Parth? Is winning a pawn a winning move? You have to win material, no? You have to win pieces. That's called winning. Not just winning a pawn. You're not even winning it, you're only attacking it. Barely attacking it. Winning move. White has a winning move here. The move is knight a7.
I was about to say that.
Okay, alright. Knight a7 is the move. The rook is trapped. So black cannot save the rook. So you will just take the rook next move. But Ding didn't find that. Ding found something equally strong. He kept pushing the pawn. d5. And now queen d7. Now this doesn't make any sense. Rook will move. So queen d7 and now d6. Another pawn break. Right? Is it a free pawn? No, if you take, knight will take and it's again a fork. So Gugesh played c5. Yes. Checkmate? Where is checkmate?
Queen
Hmm.
e5.
Look properly. Look at the position properly, Ananya. You're blundering your queen itself. This is your move. Open your eyes, Ananya, properly and look at the board. What is wrong with queen e5? Yeah, sure. What is wrong with this move, Ananya? Nakshatra? What? Yeah, this light. This one. Yeah, Nakshatra, what is wrong with queen e5? What is the problem with Ananya's queen move here? What will happen? Ananya, now you need to be quiet. I'm asking Nakshatra. No? Bhumi? Yeah, Rook will just capture the queen. That's a blunder. Ananya, keep that properly, please. Okay, so after pawn to d6, pawn c5. Now, what is the next step for white? White has a great position. Ding has got a or winning position because all the pieces are still active. The pawn is passed. Now it's time to take advantage of it, like take it forward. How do you find good moves here for white? Focus, Bhumi. Who can find out a good move in this position for white? A move that makes a threat. Yes, Ananya. Bishop e5, attacking that. I'll just play pawn f6 and you'll be kicked back. There's no point in that. Parth.
Knight.
Huh.
C7.
Exactly. Well done. Knight c7. Put pressure on the opponent, right? Make threats. Knight c7 attacks the rook. Rook moved. Gugesh moved his rook to f8. And now how to continue? Yes, Parth.
Bishop takes pawn.
Excellent. Well done. Now it's a free pawn. So Gugesh loses a pawn. Gugesh brings a knight back into the game. And Ding just goes back with the bishop. Does not even exchange bishops. He keeps a bishop on the long diagonal. And now rook to d8 by Gugesh. So Gugesh is now down by one pawn and white still has a great position. Everything is still great. Queen, the two bishops, the knight, the rooks, everything is perfect. So it's a lost position for Gugesh. Ding brings a knight to d5, asking for an exchange. And if there's no exchange, the knight e7 will come. So Gugesh exchanges, takes with the pawn. Yeah.
Knight E7.
Yes, knight e7 was coming. That is why he took.
You can take with the queen.
After knight e7, you're saying queen will take. Now then what will happen? What will white do? So try to calculate next time. When you say a move, next time, try to calculate yourself what happens next. Without any calculation, don't tell me you move. You've not just started playing chess, you know how to calculate. So if you're saying knight e7, think about what happens after that. And then tell the move, then play the move. So coming back, the knight is attacked. Knight goes to b8. How should Ding continue? Now it's time to put even more pressure. Activate pieces even more. Or win material. Is there something to capture right now? There is something you can capture. Ding captures it. Rayansh?
Queen takes.
Yeah, there is another free pawn to take. Ding captures it. Gugesh attacks the queen. And where do we move the queen? Meera, are you focusing here? No. Liren, where do we move the queen? Where is the best place to park your queen?
So when you say park, you say park.
Okay. Huh?
Queen 2.
Huh? Queen 2.
D4.
Yeah, excellent. Queen likes this, and there's no competition here. If you that's the move you also thought, good for you. There's no to tell that. So queen d4, queen likes the center of the board because from there it controls everything, right? So queen d4, best place for the queen. Gugesh brings his knight back in to a6, and now put more pressure. White to play. What next? Ananya,
Queen A7.
how is that putting any pressure? What are you doing in the corner? Ananya has gone there to have water. Queen has gone there. Yeah, this is the corner. This is the corner. There's nothing there. You're not even making a threat. So why are we wasting a move? Make your pieces active, not worse. Now, Parth.
Rook E7.
Exactly. That's the way to think. Well done, Parth. Rook e7. Look for moves that put pressure. Look for moves that make threats. And look for moves that make your pieces better. So queen going here doesn't make the queen better. Rook going here makes a rook better. It's on the 7th rank. Right? So rook e7 attacking the queen. Gugesh has to move the queen. He moves it to b5. And now what is the next step? How do we continue? Bhumi and Nakshatra focus on the board. Okay, Ryan? Bishop to f1. See, don't play thief and police with the queen. That doesn't help your position. Queen will move. Your bishop will be stuck in the back. There's no point of doing that. Attacking the queen for one move doesn't help your position. Is your position becoming better? Is your bishop going to a better place? Otherwise, don't make the move just to attack the queen. Yes, Parth?
On d7.
Excellent. Parth on fire. Pawn d7. That's the move Ding played. That's how we, form plans. You brought your rook in. Now the pawn has gone to d7, making another threat. So that means, Rayansh, what should black do here? Yeah.
D.
Rook d8 is possible. He played rook c4. What happened, Ananya? Saying what? Rook d8, okay. Yeah, sure.
Rook takes.
So rook c4 is attacking the queen. Now where do we put our queen? Advik, where is the best place for the queen? Where do we park our queen now? Queen e5 looks like a good place. Yeah, he can play f6 with a threat. So he played queen e3, also a good place. But e5 is also fine. Queen, and now the rook came to c2. So Gugesh is trying to get some counterplay. He's attacking the pawn, right? So what will we do here for white, guys? What move should white play? Vishnu. Ananya. Bishop e4. Bishop takes and queen takes. Then they get the pawn.
No, I mean, sorry, bishop.
E5. Okay, defending the pawn. Okay, all right. Anybody else? Parth?
Rook e8.
Rook e8. Rook takes?
I take with the queen.
You take with the queen. So after rook e8, there's a small problem though. If you play rook e8 now, it's a mistake. Why is rook e8 a mistake? Advik.
Sir, because the queen will take.
Queen will take the pawn. You lose the pawn.
Yeah, then we can take the queen.
How do you take the queen?
Because the queen was on e8.
How is queen on e8? You played rook e8, na? I'm taking the pawn now. After rook e8, queen takes pawn. I'm not taking. King takes. You lost a nice pawn, na? So that's a mistake. Yeah. So we don't want to lose this pawn. We want to play rook e8 and promote, but not while losing the pawn. So the move Ding played here is not something that defends the pawn. We don't need to think about defending a pawn. Your position is overwhelming here. Now play. What happened? Is this pawn as good as this pawn? Do you need that much common sense to understand which pawn is more important? So you don't want to understand, or you just want to talk? So before you talk, Ananya, try to understand what is being taught. If you really have to say something, then speak. What you're right now doing is simply talking, disturbing the class. Because it's not difficult to understand this. It just takes a little bit of common sense to understand why I'm saying keep this pawn. So coming back, we don't want to lose this pawn, and more importantly, we don't want to defend this. Our position here is too good. It's overwhelming. So we can try to make this winning instead of defending a pawn in the other side. So how do we put more pressure on this side?
On this side.
Yeah, because you've got the advantage here. Everything is lined up there. Pawn is about to promote. So how do we make rook e8 possible? Yes, Rayan Shukla.
Rook e1.
Rook e1. But you can still not play rook e8, na, because I'll take the pawn. Rook e1 improves the rook, but you can look for a better move. It's not easy. Ding played bishop d6.
Yeah.
It is c7 is a blunder. So bishop to d6 is actually threatening rook e8. How? How is bishop d6 helping rook e8?
Sir?
Yes, Parth.
Because when we take go rook e8,
They cannot take the pawn because rook takes rook. Yeah. So rook e8. So by playing bishop d6, it's not connected to the pawn, but it's actually helping the pawn to promote. Rook e8 and promotes.
Discover promotion.
Yeah. So you're making a threat of discovered attack. So and here after. Okay. Who's having hiccups? Who is having? Oh, Bhumi, I'll get water. You have? Then please have no. Why are you waiting for that? Okay. Now Gugesh's position is absolutely difficult. Now it's lost because rook e8 is coming. So he played f6 to control that square with the bishop. But that's a blunder. After next move, Gugesh resigned. Ding played a killer move here, finishing off the game. After which there was no hope for Gugesh. Yes, Parth.
Bishop e4.
Bishop e4. That's just an exchange. And then you're again threatening this. That's
Yeah,
slow, na? That's
yeah,
slow.
but then
Killer move. Look for killer moves. Yes. Advik.
queen to e.
Queen e6. I'll just play bishop f7. You're just asking the queen to be attacked. The move that Ding played was rook takes pawn instantly, like in 2 seconds he played it. Rook takes pawn, a rook sacrifice, like in game 11 when Gugesh sacrificed the queen. Here he sacrificed the rook, but why? Why did Gugesh resign here? After king takes, what's the point? Yes,
Queen to e7.
queen to e7. I just block, no?
Sir, bishop takes.
Yeah, bishop takes rook, king takes back, and then yeah, that's the point. So after king takes, he's doing a discovered attack. He brought the bishop d6, na? And now takes, king takes and promotes. So you have a queen, right? So that is why after the rook takes pawn move, Gugesh resigned, and that's how the match got tied 6-6 with 2 games left. Game 13 is right now happening. So we'll have a look at game 13, how it is going. Before